Late last month, as we all know, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, all arrested. We're talking about fixing games.
The integrity of professional sports in North America is currently standing at a massive breaking point. We are watching a collision between hyper-commercialized gambling markets and the uneven economic realities of the athletes fueling them. While everyone is focused on the ratings records and the sold-out arenas, the WNBA has inadvertently become the single most vulnerable professional sports entity in the United States. The league is currently navigating a period of unprecedented expansion, catalyzed by the arrival of generational talents like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, which has triggered an explosion in betting liquidity. But this external commercial success masks a profound internal fragility. To understand the specific threat facing the WNBA, you first have to dissect how the mechanism of fixing games has evolved. Historically, we talked about point shaving, where you needed a whole team or key ball handlers to ensure a team won by less than the spread. That was messy, risky, and required too many people to keep their mouths shut. That era is over. The legalization of sports betting has birthed a far more insidious tool for corruption called the player proposition wager, or the prop bet. These markets allow gamblers to bet on granular individual statistical achievements like points scored or rebounds collected, completely independent of the game's final outcome. This shift has fundamentally lowered the barrier to entry for corruption. An individual athlete possesses near-total autonomy over their own statistical underperformance. A player can ensure they go under a point total simply by passing the ball more frequently or engaging in passive offensive play. Unlike point shaving, which requires manipulating the score, prop manipulation requires only the passivity of a single actor. We saw the definitive case study for this with Jontay Porter in the NBA. His lifetime ban wasn't for betting on his team to lose, but for manipulating his own participation to ensure specific prop bets cashed in for known associates. Porter's strategy of claiming illness or re-aggravation of an injury highlights the most difficult tactic to police. A player claiming a migraine or a stiff back cannot be medically disproven in real time. This injury loophole is the primary vector for fraud, allowing players to exit games once the under is secured without raising suspicion. Now, consider the economic reality. Jontay Porter was an NBA player making millions compared to the average person, and he still threw it all away. The average WNBA salary is often under 6 figures. This creates a severe integrity gap. If a criminal syndicate offers a WNBA bench player $10,000 or $20,000 to fake a stomach flu and hit the under on her rebound total, that isn't just pocket change. That could be 20% of her annual take-home pay. We are already seeing this contagion in the NCAA. We have seen lifetime bans handed down to athletes from smaller universities who admitted to point shaving because of financial desperation. One banned player explicitly stated he did it because he had a child and the school wasn't paying him enough to survive. This mirrors the economic reality of many WNBA players who do not hold maximum contracts. Furthermore, the WNBA has a risk factor that the NBA does not. WNBA players often spend half the year playing in international jurisdictions to supplement their income. A fixer does not need to approach a WNBA player in the US where surveillance is high. They can cultivate a relationship in Turkey, Poland, or China during the off-season. A debt incurred overseas can easily be called in once the player returns to the US season. Paradoxically, the massive surge in viewership and betting handle driven by the Caitlin Clark effect creates a perfect camouflage for this type of game fixing. In a low-volume betting market, a large wager stands out immediately. But as betting volume on the WNBA explodes, a $10,000 fixed bet gets lost in the noise of the millions of dollars being wagered by the public. The massive public bias toward betting the over on stars like Caitlin Clark creates a unique opportunity for fixers to bet the under without triggering the algorithms that usually catch them. The WNBA is currently the path of least resistance for global match fixing. The methodologies have been field tested in the NBA and NCAA. The motive is high due to the wage gap, and the opportunity is hidden in the record-breaking betting volume. Unless the league drastically alters its compensation structure or implements invasive surveillance measures, the question is not if a WNBA game has been fixed, but rather if the integrity monitors were even looking at the right data streams to catch it. But the threat isn't just about players taking bribes. It's about time itself. In the world of high-frequency betting, a 2-second delay is an eternity. And right now, the WNBA is fighting a war against court-siding that it doesn't even know it's losing. Here is how it works. It's called latency arbitrage. When you watch a game on TV or even on a streaming app, you are seeing the past. That broadcast is delayed by 5, sometimes 10 seconds, but a spotter sitting in row 4 at a Connecticut Sun game, they are seeing the future. They use simple tech, sometimes just a phone, sometimes a device sewn into their pocket, to transmit data instantly to a syndicate. Foul called. Turnover. Three-pointer made. That signal travels faster than the TV feed. The syndicate places a massive bet on the next play market before the sportsbook's algorithm can lock the line. By the time the bookie sees the foul on his screen, the bet is already placed and the house has lost. Tennis has been fighting this for a decade. They have integrity officers scanning the crowd for people tapping devices. The NBA has military-grade security, but the WNBA? In many arenas, the security is focused on fan safety, not data encryption. A spotter can sit courtside, indistinguishable from a fan texting their mom, and drain a sportsbook dry. And when the books lose money, they don't blame the spotter. They blame the player. They freeze the markets, and the suspicion falls on the athlete. And that suspicion fuels the second, perhaps more dangerous vector, psychological warfare. We are witnessing the complete dehumanization of the WNBA athlete. To a growing segment of the fan base, these women are not athletes. They are legs in a parlay. They are financial instruments. It reached a boiling point in 2025. We saw Los Angeles Sparks star Kelsey Plum and teammate Dearica Hamby have to explicitly scream at a fan to shut the fuck up during a game, because he was screaming at them to hit a specific stat for his parlay. Think about that. A fan in the arena, feeling entitled enough to verbally abuse a professional athlete during play because he needs 2 more rebounds to win $50. This isn't just heckling, it's targeted harassment, and it creates a terrifying feedback loop. If a player knows that missing a free throw will result in thousands of death threats from angry gamblers, the pressure becomes suffocating. And as we know from criminal psychology, a person under immense psychological distress is far easier to compromise. A fixer approaches them and says, "Hey, throw the game, and we'll make sure the under hits, and you can get paid for the abuse you're taking." It's a twisted logic, but to a desperate, harassed player, it might start to make sense. Now, the league will tell you they have integrity monitoring. They hire firms like US Integrity and IC360 to watch the betting markets. And for legal books like DraftKings or FanDuel, that works. But the smart money isn't betting on FanDuel. They are betting on the ghost markets. Welcome to the world of decentralized finance, or DeFi. Platforms like Polymarket allow users to bet on anything, including sports outcomes, using cryptocurrency. There is no know your customer, no social security numbers, no names, just a digital wallet address that can be created in seconds. And it gets worse. We are entering the era of synthetic identities. Sophisticated fixers are using AI to generate fake driver's licenses and deepfake video verifications to bypass security checks on offshore sites. They create thousands of phantom bettors. So when IC360 looks for a whale betting 50 grand, they don't see it. They see 500 different people betting 100 each. The algorithm sees normal traffic. The fixer sees a guaranteed payout. This is the Polymarket effect. These decentralized markets are moving faster than the institutions can track. We saw it in the elections, and we are seeing it in sports. If a WNBA player breaks up with her boyfriend or has a fight with her coach, that info hits the crypto markets hours before it hits ESPN. The smart money is front-running the news, and the league is constantly 2 steps behind. So let's recap the reality of the WNBA in 2025. 1. You have the lowest paid athletes in major professional sports. 2. You have the highest growth betting market in the world. 3. You have a public shield of casual money hiding the sharp fixers. 4. You have courtsiders exploiting broadcast delays. 5. You have ghost markets that no integrity officer can see. This is not a potential threat. This is a mathematical certainty. The vulnerabilities are systemic. They are structural. And they are being exploited right now. The next scandal won't be a clumsy point-shaving scheme. It will be a digitized, decentralized, invisible operation that drains the integrity out of the game before the ball even tips off.